Good day, Saints. David Long here from the ministry 10 Good Men, and I'm in front of a second abortion center here in Knoxville, Tennessee, and this is an Operation Ground Zero update. You know, every week, there isn't a week that goes by that I don't get some communication from a Christian woman who wants to get involved in the ministry 10 Good Men. And they want to volunteer. Some of our earliest donors were women, and they want to, of course, pray at the abortion centers. Many of them already are, and of course we welcome that. But my question is, where are the men? Where are the Christian men? Where are the men of courage? So in 1994 I wrote a book called A Call to Manhood in a Fatherless Society. And the concept there is that Satan knew that to get the nation to the place where abortion could be legal, and the Christian church would essentially do very, very little to stop it, he had to first make the men fatherless. He had to make them weaker. And so we live in a day which, basically since the Civil War forward, we have seen progressive generations of fatherless men being raised sometimes by a single mom, sometimes by a mom and dad, but the dad was absent, maybe by several stepdads coming through their life. And it's really impacted the men of the Christian church. Of course, it's impacted the men of the whole culture. But gentlemen, we have a battle to fight. And we have to deal with that. If you're experiencing that father wound, we have to deal with that father wound, and we have to fight anyhow. So certainly fatherlessness in this nation is a factor. I recognized that in the late 80s when I first started on the abortion front. I realized that weak men were allowing the women to become pregnant and allowing them to get an abortion, often pressuring them to get an abortion, and that we would need to deal with this aspect of weak men. Why do we have weak men? And that's when I wrote this book. And certainly I would hope you would consider this an asset to you, A Call to Manhood in a Fatherless Society. This really explains how we got to this place as a culture and what you can do about it in your own life. But let me deal with one factor today when I talk about where are the men of courage. And that is, what do you do with fear? What do you do when you're just afraid some days and you don't want to get into the battle? You don't want to get into the battle at work. You don't want to get into the battle, certainly in front of the abortion center. I know a lot of men are afraid to pray here. One man said to me not long ago, said, "David, you're the most courageous person I know, the most courageous man I know." I'm not sure why he said that, but if he only knew how terrified I am every time I get ready to go pray in another abortion center. You'd think after, I don't know, 33, 34, 35 years of being in front of abortion centers, you would think that I would not be afraid anymore. But you know what? This is the gates of hell. You should be very afraid when you come to pray in an abortion center, because the demonic world is no more alive anywhere on the earth than it is right here behind these beautifully painted walls and these neat signs and these tree-lined and flower-lined communities. The gates of hell are right here. So what do you do? What do you do? Well, number one, I think we do need to back up and take an assessment and deal, and there's some tools in this book, how to take an assessment of where you're at as a man, what you need to strengthen, what you need to work on. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing that we need to do is we need to put one foot in front of the other. No matter what the topic is, no matter what it is that we're afraid of, we need to put one foot in front of the other. Every time I get ready to go to another abortion center, I become afraid. I think most who are aware of what's going on in the spirit would. And every time I arrive here, I'm surprised how filled with trepidation I am. I know the demonic world is alive and well, and I know the demonic world hates the message that we're trying to get out. So what do? This might sound trite, this might sound lightweight, but here's what I do. Put one foot in front of the other. Get out of bed, get dressed, do your research, know where you're going, and go there. If you have to pray in your car a few minutes, fine, pray in your car a few minutes, and then get out of the car, and then get on the sidewalk in front of the abortion center, and begin to do battle in the spirit for the babies, for the moms, for our nation, for yourself. This nation is on the verge of the judgment of God, and God is looking to see if there are men within the church who will stand for righteousness, who will be salt and light, who will stand courageously. This is the most easy and obvious. Abortion is the easy and most obvious cultural issue that you can take a stand on without any equivocation. It's the murder of the unborn children. It's the easiest place to take your stand. I'm not asking you to picket. I'm not asking you to do a sit-in. I'm not even asking you at this point to do sidewalk counseling. I'm simply asking you to come down and pray. It's not that hard. It's not that challenging. So 700 men praying at 700, they'd be the point men. And their job would be to recruit at least a minimum of 10 to be praying there, praying in pairs every week. And if you could imagine 700 clinics covered in that kind of prayer, 7,000 Christian men dedicating just an hour a week. The impact. Did you know that over 100 abortion centers in this nation have been closed by prayer? This abortion center can be closed by prayer. Now, just to remind you, the concept of 10 good men comes from the picture of Abraham and God overlooking the valley of Sodom and Gomorrah and arguing or negotiating, if you will, and saying if we could find just 10, he would spare the city. Well, I believe that in all the cities in America, there are many more. There are hundreds, thousands. I believe in a city the size of Knoxville, there's probably 7,000 in this city alone who have not bowed the knee. You know, Knoxville is as close as you can get to the buckle of the Bible Belt of any city here in the Southeast. These clinics should have hundreds of Christian men. The reason we don't is because the leadership of the church has not made this a priority. We have, and so we as Christian men have to, it says of Lot that he was vexed in his very soul. Are you vexed sitting in the church in the pew on Sunday and not hearing about the murder of the unborn? You should be vexed. You should be a thorn in the side of the local church. You should be an assistant, an aide, an advocate for the unborn in your local church. And then call the men out to pray at this abortion center. Now, this center could be closed. We can close this abortion center. Now, I'm not saying prayer is the only thing that we should be doing. There should be sidewalk counseling here. There should be some picketing here. But all I'm asking these men to do is come and pray. Just come an hour a week. Get a partner. Don't come alone. Get an hour a week with a partner and pray in front of this abortion center until it is closed. Because God is saying, when he looked down at Sodom and Gomorrah, he was saying the same thing. Where are the men of courage? Where are the men of courage? They're there. They're there in the pews. I know you're there. And I'm asking you in Jesus' name, get out of the pew. Get out of the pew. Get out of the pew. And head to the local abortion center. Grab a buddy. You don't have to commit to being a point man right away. Just go pray there. Just go pray there for an hour. Say, can I do this? Of course you can do it. Men of courage, where are you? Men of courage, where are you? America needs you. The babies need you. The moms need you. God needs you. He needs you to obey. He needs you to stand up for righteousness. So this is David Long in front of an abortion center in Knoxville, Tennessee. Men of courage, where are you? God bless.